Watch what happens when Rampage, Jackson's son, Raja, gets hit over the head with a can.
Hey, I think that's
Raja decided to get his own back in the ring. The reason Roger was even there was simple. His friend AJ Mana had a match on the card. Roger said it himself. He didn't care about wrestling. He was just showing up to support AJ. But the second he stepped backstage, the vibe was off. Wrestling locker rooms are unpredictable. Some guys stay in character all night, others blur reality with performance, and the energy can shift from fun to hostile in seconds. Roger wasn't there to play along. He wasn't a wrestler, wasn't a character, just a guy hanging out. But in a room full of performers, he stood out. And that's when Psycho Stu made his move. Stu came at Roger with all the theatrics. Belly out, hands on hips, trying to be funny, trying to grab camera time. He expected Roger to play along, maybe banter, maybe get roped into the act. But Roger brushed him off. No reaction, no interest. Just kept talking to AJ's crew. That should have been the end of it. But Stu wasn't satisfied. And here's where everything flipped. Out of nowhere, Stu smashed a prop can on Roger's head. A dumb move, a reckless move. But what made it worse? Roger was already dealing with a concussion from sparring just days earlier. He had been throwing up, his head was pounding, and he admitted he wasn't even feeling right. Now suddenly, someone he didn't know just cracked him in the head, live on camera. The room shifted instantly. Roger snapped. His first reaction was disbelief. The wrestlers around him tried to calm him down, reminding Stu, he's not one of us, he's not a worker. But the damage was already done. Stu tried to brush it off like it was all part of the show. He even asked Roger if he was going to sell it, treating it like a storyline instead of the real-life hit it was. And that's when the stream chat got involved. Thousands of people watching began spamming comments, clowning Roger for not fighting back, calling him soft, calling him fake, saying he was getting punked. It was pure rage bait, and Roger took it personally. You could see the anger building in his face. He even said it out loud. If I did something right now, they'd kick me out. There'd be no more stream. But the more the comments taunted him, the more that line between control and chaos started to blur. And then things got even more complicated. Because Roger's dad found out what was happening. Rampage Jackson, sitting at home, started seeing the clips pop up in his chat. Fans were tagging him, letting him know his son just got cracked at a wrestling show. Rampage tuned in. And his reaction? Classic Rampage. Confused, angry, but also roasting his own son in real time. He mocked the wrestling, mocked the stream, and even joked about Roger hugging dudes in tights. But underneath the jokes, you could hear the concern. Rampage didn't like that his son was caught up in something reckless, especially not with a head injury already lingering. And this father-son dynamic, the tough love, the constant expectation, only added fuel to Roger's fire. Because instead of sympathy, he was now being mocked by his own dad on stream. That pressure was boiling over. Backstage, wrestlers tried to smooth things over. They told Roger he could give Stu a receipt, wrestling slang, for hitting someone back to even the score. They even offered to let him run into Stu's match later that night and make it part of the storyline. For Roger, that was all he needed to hear. A green light, a chance to prove himself, a chance to shut up the chat, prove his toughness, and get payback. Viewers hyped it up. People were asking how many subs it would take for him to knock Stu out. Roger grinned, saying, "As long as I get my lick back, I'm straight." And when the signal came, Roger emptied his pockets, handed his stuff to his trainer, and stormed toward the ring. The crowd didn't know what was real and what was fake. The wrestlers didn't know if he was going to play along or actually swing. But one thing was clear, Roger wasn't treating this like entertainment. The chaos had officially begun. The brawl inside turned messy fast. Roger went after Stu, things got physical, and at one point, Roger even claimed he got bit during the scuffle. Security scrambled, wrestlers tried to contain it, but the energy was out of control. Eventually, Roger was forced outside the venue. But even there, it didn't stop. A man in a blue shirt followed him, taunting him, trying to lure him back, back. Some thought he was stalling for police. Others thought he wanted Roger to take another swing, so things would escalate further. Roger was pacing, breathing heavy, furious. On stream, he ranted about being disrespected, about people always playing with him. His chat didn't let up either. They kept calling him soft, fake, a pushover, and you could see it eating away at him in real time. The rage, the embarrassment, the pressure of his father's name, all colliding in front of an audience of thousands. Then came the scariest part. Rumors spread that Stu had been knocked out cold. Some even claimed he flatlined in the ring. Roger looked shaken when he heard, pacing, questioning what he had just done, and worrying about the fallout. Jail time? Banned from streaming? The weight of it hit him instantly. Thankfully, Rampage himself later confirmed Stu was awake and stable, but he didn't hold back on criticizing Roger, saying his son shouldn't have been involved in the first place, especially not with a recent concussion. And that opened the door to a bigger conversation. Was Roger just reckless? Or was this a warning sign of something more serious, like lingering concussion symptoms, or even early signs of CTE? His emotional swings, his impulse control, his decision-making, it all seemed off. The internet debated nonstop. Some said Roger was just being baited by trolls and made a bad call. Others said his health might be in serious danger. At the end of the night, Roger Jackson left with more questions than answers. What started as a trip to support a friend turned into a viral meltdown involving police, his father, and a mountain of online criticism. He wanted to prove himself. Instead, he raised concerns about his future, his health, and his ability to handle the pressures of being Rampage Jackson's son. So the question remains, was this just one bad night or the beginning of something much darker? Because in the world of fighting, wrestling, and streaming, one slip, one bad decision can define you forever. And for Roger Jackson, that definition is still being written.